know.
You're going to be the responsible adult.
Oh, I'm gonna be responsible, all right. For partying until my nuts catch fire.
Today I'm going to talk about the 2018 comedy, The Rocker. Let's get into it. This is a movie that's near and dear to my heart. I have loved this movie for a long time. When a movie on this channel gets a secretly great movie review, it's either because it bombed in theaters and didn't receive a very big cult following later on, or it's very underappreciated, underrated, or largely unknown. This movie has the trifecta, but it is a great film worth diving into. The film is about a drummer named Robert Fishman, nicknamed Fish, played by Rainn Wilson. Fish is in the band Vesuvius in the 80s with his buddies from high school. His friends kick him out of the band due to pressures from the record label. Vesuvius goes on to superstardom, while Fish quits music and works a painful series of dead-end jobs until his nephew asks him to play with his band called ADD for prom. They become a viral YouTube sensation, and Fish can now relive his dreams of being a rock star with his nephew and his high school friends. The movie has a lot of heart and a lot of comedy. I honestly don't know how someone can watch the film and think it's not funny. The jokes and gags for this movie are so great.
How the camera itself adds 10 pounds.
Yeah, the camera and the food, right? Well,
Oh my God! He was like a jet plane! So fast!
Fast runner.
Yeah.
Definitely a fast
I
runner.
didn't know how fast he was.
No, I was going 60. Hey.
I swear, if you don't stop annoying me, I'm gonna shave your head in your sleep.
I'd still be the pretty child.
There are so many comedic actors in this movie that get to shine and have their moment. The scene at the call center with Aziz Ansari, Jeff Garlin as the desperate suburban dad who lives vicariously through his brother-in-law, Fish's tough love sister, played by Jane Lynch, Jason Sudeikis as the jerk-off music producer and band manager. We got a nice little scene with Dimitri Martin as well. Emma Stone also played a very convincing, moody teenager with way too much eyeshadow. Fish's nephew, Matt, played by Josh Gad, was so awesome. He's kind of like a fat, nervous around girls Michael Cera type of actor, but with way more slapstick.
Did you sneeze on my face?
No, that wasn't me.
Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper, and Fred Armisen also had great comedic cameos. No one truly shines in this film like Rainn Wilson does. He takes the obsession, passion, and dedication that Dwight K. Schrute has for paper and Dunder Mifflin and channels it into Robert Fishman's love for rock and roll. The same way that
You couldn't handle my undivided attention.
is the same reason why you can't handle the hilarity of The Rocker. If you even remotely like The Office and Rainn Wilson's style of humor, then you will fall in love with this film over and over again. Rainn Wilson's comedy is centered around a man that lacks self-awareness, has no shame for his physical appearance, and is overzealous and way too intense and combative about a multitude of mostly trivial pursuits, which creates so many hilarious scenarios. One thing that Fish has that Dwight doesn't is mentorship and adoration. In the movie, Fish comes alongside these kids and gets each of them to come out of their shells and let go of what's holding them back. The once confused teenagers really learn to trust him and want him around to bring up morale. While Dwight does have a relatively short-lived redemption arc, most of his comedy in The Office comes from him being stuck in his ways, whereas the transformation he makes in Fish is both funny and uplifting. Despite my love for this movie, with a budget of $15 million, it grossed $8.8 million worldwide, which pretty much put the Rainn Wilson comedy movie era back in the bottle. First, we should talk about the British director Peter Cantaneo, whose only big international hit that Americans might know him by is The Full Monty in 1997. He directed The Rocker with Sean Levy producing. It was written by Wallace Wolodarski and his wife, Maya Forbes. Wallace was a writer for The Simpsons in the early 90s. Even though the film was set in Cleveland, Ohio, it was primarily filmed in Toronto, Canada. For a teen comedy with two different fake bands in it, the original songs really take my breath away. I can't think of a movie I've ever seen that has this many great original lyrical songs. Chad Fisher wrote and composed the music. He wrote some music for Garden State, but most of the music was compiled by Zach Braff himself. Rainn did his best to promote the movie, and he made several posts about it on MySpace. Here's what Rainn Wilson has to say about The Rocker.
But The Rocker, Jay,
Back to The Rocker.
was one of the biggest bombs in movie history. And no real fault of ours. It's a very sweet, lovely, goofy movie. It's a perfectly fine movie. Families love it. Kids love it. It's not a great film, but it's a silly summer comedy, and it was totally fine. And Fox didn't know what to do with it. They kind of dumped it during Labor Day weekend on like 2,000 some screens, and they didn't promote it at all. They threw it out there, and no one went to see it. And it was the end of summer coming into school, and it tanked, and it was brutal because for me it was like, oh, here's my starring vehicle. It's my name, it's my face. On the poster. Did this big tour with Nicole promoting it, and no one went to see it. It was just a bomb.
It's sad to think about all of the Rainn Wilson comedies we could have gotten had The Rocker actually made money. Another fun fact is an online computer game was made called The Rocker TV Toss, which, if you can believe it, can still be played on y8.com. Man, the internet is a wonderful place. Another fun fact is that the script was loosely inspired by the life of Pete Best, the original drummer for the Beatles, that got kicked out before they brought in Ringo Starr. He made a small cameo as the old man at the bus stop. He said in the interview that he's happy and he's been married for over 40 years and he's had 2 wonderful children and no regrets. It's kind of the way you have to be so you don't get horribly depressed. We need to talk about why The Rocker bombed. Viewership on The Office peaked in 2008 during season 5, when an average of 8 million people tuned in to watch each episode on NBC. So with The Rocker coming out right before season 5, this is as famous as Rainn Wilson has ever been. This movie was really a test to see if the Rainn Wilson comedy movie was a repeatable success. Just a few years earlier, Jack Black had major success with a similar rock and roll comedy in School of Rock. The only film he had starred in up to that point was the movie Shallow Hal. School of Rock cemented Jack Black as a comedic leading man. Sadly, some moviegoers saw The Rocker as a School of Rock knockoff. And whereas Jack had really had a hit in the previous film, Rainn put all his eggs in this basket. And with Fox not doing its best to promote the film, it left Rainn Wilson high and dry. People also thought the script was bland and unoriginal compared to other comedies of the era. I also don't think that many people were huge fans of Teddy Geiger's acting. He played the role of Curtis in the film. To be honest, I would agree with them. It's my only critique of the film is that Teddy Geiger's acting was a little off. It's his only legit acting credit in his career. It seemed like he wasn't all the way in on the project. I think a majority of the people that did see it were Office fans. And unfortunately, Rainn Wilson just isn't a big enough star to carry a summer blockbuster comedy. Because he was famous from being Dwight, it ironically hurt his chances of being a successful leading man. Most of the jokes in The Office that involve Dwight have him playing a more cynical, villain-type role, lacking heart, humility, and self-awareness. While Rainn does have some of that in this movie, his character has a lot more heart and compassion and a great realization and transformation story. So if you think The Rocker is an hour and 42 minutes of
When's the last time you saw a damn bear in Scranton? Last year, idiot!
It's more like
Just thought I heard crying or moaning or something in here.
Oh. Well, I'll look into that in the morning.
Thank you for bringing that to the attention of the staff.
It's something so great, even Office fans weren't ready for. So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it for Dwight Schrute, but stay for Robert Fishman. Let me know in the comments what you thought of The Rocker. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.